Developing work through enlargements. Here's a list of resources you may need.
Show you how you can develop a piece of work using a viewfinder. So a viewfinder is a piece of paper with a hole cut out of it, and this allows you to choose a section of your work which you find interesting enough to develop further. So you're going to start with a piece of A4 paper. You need a ruler, a pencil, and preferably a craft knife, but if you don't have one, that's fine. You can use a pair of scissors instead. So I'm going to create a viewfinder which is 8 centimeters by 4 centimeters, and I'm going to do this landscape. So I know that when I develop my piece of work, I'm going to create a landscape piece of work. But if you prefer to work portrait, that's fine. Or perhaps you'll change, or perhaps I'll change my mind when I move it around on my work. Okay, once you've drawn your rectangle or your square, whatever your composition, I'm going to cut that out. Again, this would be a lot quicker with a craft knife, but if you don't have one, scissors is fine, as long as you've got a nice straight edge. It's not something you need to keep afterwards unless you know that you might use it again. And then once you've cut that out, you can then use this over the top of your existing piece of work to find an area which is interesting. But you could always turn it around as well if you wanted to. So the idea is to mask the rest of the work so it doesn't detract from what you're looking at. And actually I'm quite happy with that area there. I particularly like the texture and the line here, so I think I'm happy with that. Once you have found an area that you want to develop, you can get started straight away. So I'm going to be using some materials that I've already used in this work, but if you want to have a go at introducing some more materials such as oil pastels or charcoal or anything else, please do feel free. I'm going to start with a pencil this time. If you're not confident enough to get started straight away with wet materials or wet media, have a go at drawing it out first. So I'm going to use my pencil to draw out what I see there. I'm not working all the way to the edge. I'm just going to really focus on this area here. There, and then that's really light drawing. You don't want to spend too long on your drawing because a lot of that is going to be covered anyway, and it's just an idea. It's just so as you get your composition right and you know that everything fits where you want it to go. Once you've done that, you can then make a start with your materials. So I know that I am going to use collage. I might use it in a different way this time, but I'm definitely going to have collage somewhere on my work. I might even use it slightly differently this time. So we're not recreating this area, we're using this as a guide to develop. So if you wanted to explore different collage papers, there's nothing, that'd be great. I'm sticking with the brown paper and the book pages as I used in my previous work. I quite like those textures, felt that they work really well together. and this time I'm doing it slightly differently. So last time I worked over the top of the book pages where my face was, but this time I'm actually going to sort of place some paper around the edge of the face instead and just see how that works. There. Okay, so I know that Florian Nicole uses a lot of black in his work, which is something that I quite liked. And I also feel like he uses a lot of tone, which I would like to develop in this piece of work. So I don't feel like I use tone as much as I could have in my previous piece of work. So I'm going to develop that. I'm also going to try and be a little bit freer with my mark making. I'm going to start using ink now as well. Okay, so once you're happy with your wet medium, you can allow it to dry and then come back to it at a later time and add some more detail using pen and white pencil or any other dry material such as charcoal or pastel back over the top.